Some of you may have heard about the city Sarajevo. It's the capital city of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And right now, we are at a city called Stanari. It's about 3 hours drive in the north of Sarajevo. And as you can see behind me, here is a building complex and in gray and blue. And maybe you can have a guess about the function of the building. It looks like a factory. And there is a chimney behind me, and I'm hesitating to call it a chimney because you can hardly see any smoke coming out of it. Actually, this is a thermal power plant. It's the first thermal power plant in Europe built. It's actually the first power plant in Europe built by a Chinese company, China Dongfang Electric Corporation, based in southwest Sichuan province. So, um, what's special about this power plant? I can tell you a few things. The first, that, as I said, it's the first power plant in Europe built by a Chinese company. The second is that it's actually burning coal, but it's a locally produced, low quality coal that is virtually unusable in a conventional sense. So, in a way, this power plant is turning waste into treasure. And the third thing is about this town, Stanari. So with the building of the power plant, the small town of Stanari has been completely changed for the good. Um, the population of the town has increased from 2,000 to 8,000. A lot of people find jobs here in the power plant, and they don't have to go to other places to search for jobs. And there are also a lot of infrastructure projects being built as the government gets tax income from the power plant. So, but sadly, I'm no expert in energy sector nor an expert in technical stuff. So today I could use some help here. And we are very happy to be joined by Mr. Alexander.
Right.
And he will be my guide along our trip to this power plant. And
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. And first, can you tell us a bit about yourself and what do you do here at the power plant?
I work here as a technical director of the plant. I've been working here for maybe 5 years. 1 year before the plant started its operation. So I was involved in the construction of the plant, then testing of the equipment, commissioning of the plant, and finally operation of the plant.
Okay, so how long has the plant been in operation?
Since January 2016.
So it's been 3 years.
Almost 4 years.
Oh yes.
Almost 4 years, yeah.
Yes. So it's the power it generated. Where does it go to?
Well, we're a private company, and we basically trade our electricity on the market. Of course, we have some long-term contracts, but generally we can say it goes to all of Europe, mostly to the Switzerland, and some goes to Croatia and some other countries.
Mainly European market.
Yes, completely European market.
Oh, and I noticed something special here in the corner of the lobby.
Yeah.
Tell me what's this?
Okay, this is how the coal looks like. Actually, this is a very old piece of wood, which is very old and was buried under the ground for a long period of time. And now we can see how the wood turns to coal. Inside it is still wood, while on the outer side it started to become coal.
Yes. So I heard that the plant is using a coal called
Lignite.
lignite.
Lignite, yes.
So what's this coal? What's it like?
Lignite lignite is a group of coals which belong to young type of the coal. So they're the youngest among all of the coals. and they are, we can say they are good for the power plants, because being young coals also means that usually they have, especially our coal, have low sulfur content, and so it's basically very environmentally friendly, because there is not much sulfur dioxide when you burn this type of coal. It is more similar to wood than to some older type of coals.
So I've done some homework, and it says that this kind of coal is not suitable to be transported over
Yes,
distance.
yes, yes. And the reason is that generally lignites have high moisture content. For example, our lignite has about 50% of moisture. So you can imagine when you transport large amounts of lignites, basically half of it's water. So it's not economically feasible to transport it to the longer distances.
Okay.
And here mine is just across the street, so it's very short transportation to the plant.
Yeah. So since you talked about the location, and we have the model here
Yes,
about the power plant, we can take a closer look.
yes, exactly. So we can see on this model how it looks like.
Yes.
Now now the coal from the mine comes in this on these belts.
Yes.
This is the coal storage, which is basically a storage which could be used if there is some problem on the mine. For example, some environmental condition which prevent machines to excavate the coal. So there is a storage which can last for 10, 11, 12 days of plant operation.
So make sure that the factory can run like
Exactly.
over the clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
After the coal storage, there is a system of the belts which transports coal to the boiler house. This gray building we see here is the boiler house. Basically, boiler, yes. So inside this boiler, where the coal is being burnt, and then steam produced in the boiler turns the turbine, which turns the generator and produces electricity.
So what's this part on the left?
This part, this is something specific, which is not usually seen in the plants. This is air-cooled condenser. Steam that comes from the turbine has to be condensed. And in most of the cases, water from the rivers or the lakes is used to cool down the steam. Here, we use air-cooled condensers, so there is no any impact on the environment, on the water flows in the rivers or lakes or so.
That's very important.
Yes.
And where we are standing right now, actually, can you point to the building, the location?
Yes. Right now we are in this building.
Ah,
This is administration building.
main what's it called? Again?
Administration building.
Administration.
Yes.
So the control room, the
Control room is in this building. I will go there now.
so they are connected.
Yes, they are connected.
So we're going to see the control room.
Yes, yes.
Great. So let's move to the control room then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all you can see coming out of chimney is steam.
Yeah.
It's water vapor.
Yes. I heard that this power plant it has very high like environmental emission standards.
Yes.
And also technology.
Yes, it is in accordance with the latest European emission standards, which means less than 200 milligrams per square meter of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, as well as 30 milligrams per square meter of dust emissions.
I think that's very good for the local environment because it's
Yes. Basically, impact on environment is absolutely minimal.
Okay. So where we are heading now?
Now we are heading to the control room.
Control room, the
Yes.
brain of the.
Yes, this is the brain of the plant, and this is where everything starts. This is where operators run the plant, control everything, and monitor all parameters of the systems of the plant. So let's check,
Great.
please.
Thank you. So how many employees are there in the plant?
In the plant, it's about 150, and
It's not a lot of.
it's not a lot of people, yes, and completely on the in the company, which means power plant and the mine, it's 850. Okay,
Right now
you
we
can
are
go
walking.
inside. Dobar dan svima. So these are
It looks very modern with all these monitors.
yeah, absolutely,
Screens.
absolutely. It's
So what's on the screen? Can you like generally give us a general introduction?
yes. In general, introduction would be like this. In this part, on my left-hand side, there is electrical operator. So basically, he takes care of everything related to electricity and the power supply of the different motors, pumps, everything. Next to him, he's a boiler operator, and he's in charge for the boiler operation, which means he controls the combustion in the boiler, how much coal, how much air, supervise that everything is okay, and also that emissions are okay. So he takes care that process keeps stable.
Yes, very important.
Then next is turbine operator. So when steam is produced in the boiler, it goes to the turbine, and the turbine operator controls the turbine. How much power will turbine produce through the generator?
And you can see
There is these guys here. They are monitoring, say, about 20 to 30,000 signals, different signals. Yes, and of course, this is completely automated system. So there are many alarms and warnings whenever there something is out of typical range or something. But still, human factor is very important. So people are automatic operation makes it easier for them, but still sometimes they have to make some important decisions when there is some problem, how to react, what to do, which operation to perform.
yes. We know that this power plant is built by a Chinese company.
Yes.
So maybe we could talk about like how 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 our Chinese employees and local employees are getting along and how they like cooperate with each other.
Yeah, I must say that we have excellent cooperation, and first 2 years of plant operation, we had Chinese operators together with our operators. So basically, that was a form of training uh, of our operators, and during the course of time, our operators, as they were getting more and more experience, took over operation from their Chinese colleagues. But Chinese operators had a very important role in establishing everything as it is now.
So does do local employees get training in China or here?
Yes, there was a group of local operators that had training in China for 3 weeks. That was before the plant started. So they had a chance to visit the Chinese power plant, similar power plant, and to get their first steps in operation, to see how it works, to try to operate the plant on the simulator and so on. So basically, when this plant started, they already had some idea how it should look like, how it should be operated, and so on.
Yeah, so right now most of the employees are local.
Yeah, most of the yes.
I have a question. Can we
Yeah.
go into that room? Because
Sure.
I can see some large machines.
Sure.
Here.
Now we'll go. This is called turbine room, turbine house.
Turbine,
Yes.
yes.
So there is now it's a little bit noisy there. So
Yes,
I'll
you
try
have to
to.
speak right through the
Yeah.
microphone.
So there is a turbine and generator, and we will go now around that to check.
Okay.
This is the steam turbine. It's enclosed here in this casing. We can check here.
Wow. Let's just stay outside.
It rotates 3,000 revolutions per minute. Let's go this way. This is low pressure turbine. This is high pressure turbine and low pressure turbine. And the blue one is the generator.
So electricity comes
Yes,
from here.
yes. So this is the machine that produces electricity.
Yes.
And from the generator, electricity goes to grid through these lines.
Yes.
We can see transmission lines there. So there are transmission line, and down there is transformer, which increases the voltage of the electricity up to 400,000 volts, and then it goes through on the transmission lines.
So right there, it's connected to the grid.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can we also go to the boiler room?
Yeah, now we'll go to the boiler house.
Great.
Now, there is one interesting fact about this this vessel here. It's called deaerator, and as you can see, it's very, very big.
Yes.
It came from China in one piece,
Wow.
so it's like 22 meters long, and it came on special trucks. It came by the boat, of course, to the port of Rijeka, and from there it came by trucks, special trucks to here. And it was very challenging to bring such a big thing on the truck here.
Yes, exactly. So for those of you who are new to the program, and we are right now at Stanari Thermal Power Plant, and this vessel you see here, it came here from China in one piece. So it's very impressive. How long is that? How long is it again?
It's like 22 meters.
22-meter long.
Now we go to the boiler house. Okay, so unlike the turbine, which we can see, like this is turbine, boiler is so big that we cannot see it completely.
Yes.
This is what we see here. It's just the bottom of the boiler.
Oh, bottom.
This is the bottom, yeah.
So
And the top of the boiler is on 50 meters. Now we are on 12 meters,
I see.
and this is only the bottom.
Yes.
And of course, it is completely closed. It uses 300 tons of coal per hour. So it's really,
It must be like very, very heavy.
yeah.
So what happens inside the boiler?
Inside, this is so-called CFB, which means circulating fluidized bed boiler. This is a special technology for burning the coal, which which is very suitable if you want to build a environmentally friendly plant. Basically, the temperature inside this furnace is much lower than in pulverized coal boilers. So it's very favorable to control NOx emissions. Also, the sulfur dioxide is controlled by injecting the limestone inside the furnace, and in combination with very low sulfur content in our coal, we can easily control sulfur emissions. And there is a small window here through which you can see the fire inside this
Wow.
boiler. Yes, but since it is pressurized, there is no bigger window, only this small
Ah,
one.
yes.
So you can
Yes.
see what is
Wow.
happening inside.
That's really impressive. Wow. That's my first time in a power plant. Right now, from this, um,
Here we can see what combustion looks like from this
yes,
window.
inside you can see the combustion. It's the round mirror, not mirror. Isn't that impressive? Okay. So I heard, Alex, you're going to visit China really soon.
Yes, I've been a few times already in China, mostly in Chengdu, Sichuan, and
Where their company is based.
yeah, this is where the company that built this unit is based, and I'm really looking forward to see Chengdu and some other cities I will visit, like Harbin and Hefei. And for me, it's really amazing how China made its development in the recent 10 or 15 years. It's something really amazing and admirable.
Thank you. And so you can like maybe introduce to us what's right in front of us.
Yeah, in front of us we can see cold storage and cold storage machine that is used for stacking the coal and also taking the coal from the stack and transporting it to the plant. Uh, on my left hand side, these are fabric filters, which are used. These silver buildings, they are used to clean the flue gas. So basically, no dust comes out of the chimney.
Okay.
This is the basically final stage of the flue gas path. And down there we can see compressed air tanks. Compressed air is used for various purposes in the plant, from the transportation to the control and control units. Across the road, we can see the mine fields. So there is a mine pit, and here is the belt the one that is transporting coal from the mine to the plant belt system.
Well, I've learned a lot, really. Thank you so much for your cooperation and for your wonderful guide.
You're
For
welcome.
So I'm afraid our live broadcast today is coming to an end. Thanks for watching, and if you like our program, be sure to favorite and leave a comment and subscribe to our channel.